We cannot control extreme weather, and that's why it's imperative that we are prepared for it, because it seems that it's just getting worse and worse and it's coming at us from every direction. We must be prepared for the extreme weather that can affect us in the areas we frequent. It's as simple as that. And even if we do everything right and we are prepared, something terrible can happen and people can lose their lives. But the better prepared we are, the better chances we have to weather these terrible storms and weather extremes. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. Appreciate everybody that joins and comments and questions and shares. Very appreciated. Let's try to make Monday an amazing day. But sadly, some terrible weather hitting the country. It's a pretty sad and devastating day for people out there. Montana had over 2 feet of snow in places yesterday, and I heard this morning that there were people going off the road and accidents and so forth. Winter's not over. We still have to be prepared. We still have to drive appropriately for those conditions. But even worse, down south, over 26, at least 26, maybe over, they still hadn't determined a final count yet of people that were killed by tornadoes. And that one town in Mississippi, Rolling Fork, I believe was the name, was just devastated. And we have to be prepared for such things. And of course, you can't really be prepared for your house being leveled and completely destroyed. Something we have to do in those situations is we have to pay attention to the warning signs, because the one thing that we do have with modern technology, even though we cannot control the weather, we can predict it a lot better and give people warnings to get to safety. So we must heed those kind of warnings and remember that the only important thing are lives, not stuff. You can lose your house, you can lose your stuff. We don't want to lose lives. And sadly, at least 26 people were killed. I don't know the entire circumstances with that. And again, we can do everything right and people can still die. We just try to do everything right to minimize people being killed and things being damaged. Good morning, Jay. Appreciate you being here. Good morning, Vicky. Thank you for saying hi as well. And so bottom line, we see these weather events happening all over the country. We had more snow in places this year than have had for maybe decades. Montana definitely had more snow this winter than we've had in quite a long time, including the 2 feet of snow dumped in places yesterday. We have to be prepared for such weather. We have to take precautions when it happens. Again, in a tornado, you can't stop a tornado. Pay attention to warnings and get to a safe place and let it pass and do its destruction. Then we go out there and try to help each other in our communities that were destroyed rebuild. So anybody that can help those affected in Mississippi and other places down south, hopefully are helping. And I know that a lot of people will step up and help their neighbors, in that terrible situation that happened down there. Another thing that happened this weekend, we had a chemical spill in Philadelphia where there's concerns about the water. Now, one of the reports I read said through Monday, the tap water was still safe. But I also know that on the campus where my daughter's going to school there was some warnings. So my daughter was getting bottled water and not drinking the tap water, which she normally fills her, her pitcher that has the water filters and stuff and keeps in a fridge in the dorm. Not going to do that right now and drinking bottled water. Just one more example of why we need to be prepared, and that I always say we should have some water on hand. One of the easiest ways for most people to have water stored is to buy cases of bottled water. You can store them in different places, depending if you have an apartment, a house, or where you have. And so obviously, some places it's going to be easier to store more, but having some water supply, preferably a couple days supply per person, is just prudent. You never know what's going to happen. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be stranded. You're going to have a chemical leak in your water supply where you can't use the water that you normally use. And when that happens, everybody runs to the stores and the shelves are empty. And so the time to buy the water and to prepare for it is before something happens. Remember Harvey Mackay's great book on networking. The time to dig your well is before you're thirsty, right? Jay says aware. Awareness is key. And we need to use the technology and things that we have to help our awareness, and the different technology that lets us know storms or snow or whatever are coming so we can be prepared when it hits. But things like water and food supplies, having warm clothes, different things like that, those need to be done way before it hits so you're prepared. Tornado, knowing where to go in an emergency that will be a safe location, important to know before it's time to go. So it's just a little preparation here and there can make a huge difference. And then once we're prepared, we can go about enjoying life. And then if something bad happens, not be stuck, not knowing what to do, not having the supplies, and having the situation much worse than if we had prepared for it. It's as simple as that. And that is why I spend so much time teaching people how to be prepared and reminding people to prepare like I'm doing today. Not telling you anything you probably don't already know, but I'm telling you to do it because so many people don't. They're going to get to it someday. Yeah, I ought to do it. Yeah, I know. And then they don't until something bad happens, and then they're stuck, unprepared, unaware, and the worst happens. When awareness and preparation could have prevented it or at least made the outcome better. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. I'm going to sign off because I get my car to a shop. My car got into a fight with a dog over the weekend. The dog won. The dog is fine. The dog was not hurt, but a dog ran out and smacked into the side of my vehicle and put a big dent in the passenger door. Again, the dog is fine because I got out and checked on the dog first, and the dog was fine. The owner came out, but my car did not fare as well as the dog. Maybe that says something about manufacturing these days. A friend of mine said, yeah, who would know that a dog is tougher than a car now? Well, that dog, it won the fight with my car. Now I need to take it in and see what it's going to cost to get that dent fixed. So that's what I'm off to do today. Everybody have a safe day. If you're not prepared for stuff, maybe take a moment today to figure out what you need to prepare and then do it. And then let's just all make every day amazing.